Donald Trump has been using words like coup, witch hunt, treason in response to the impeachment inquiry that he's now facing. Now, remember, he is facing this investigation as a result of his phone conversation with the president of Ukraine, where he specifically asked him to do him favors in looking into CrowdStrike, which has to do with this crazy conspiracy theory where Trump thinks Ukraine was behind the Russia investigation. And then he wanted to, of course, dig up dirt on Joe Biden. Now, the rhetoric that he's been using has fired up his supporters, including members of armed militias. One of those armed militias is known as the Oath Keepers. I'm sure we've talked about them on the show previously. But before we get to what the Oath Keepers are now saying, I want to give you just a little example of the rhetoric that Trump uses. So for instance, he has said, quote, on Twitter, "If the Democrats are successful in removing the president from office, which they will never be, it will cause a civil war-like fracture in this nation from which our country will never heal." Now, in that tweet, of course, he's quoting Robert Jeffress, who's a pastor and also a lunatic. And so he keeps spreading this nonsense about civil war, witch hunt, treason. And so the Oath Keepers started responding to it on Twitter. Let me give you some examples. Here's the money quote from that thread. "This is the truth. This is where we are. We are on the verge of a hot civil war, like in 1859. That's where we are. And the right has zero trust or respect for anything the left is doing. We see them as illegitimate too." And then it continues, "Neither side respects or trusts the other side, nor do Trump supporters trust the intelligence community or the rhinos, Republicans in name only, in the Senate. Hence, they will not accept the results of a successful impeachment as legitimate. They will see it as a deep state coup. And I believe they will be right. Trump's real crime was winning the election, period. All the rest is smoke and mirrors to justify reversing that election. And some in the GOP are in on it. And I stand by my statements. What I said wasn't calling for a civil war or inciting one, as many on the left are now claiming, but it was a warning that they are pushing us toward one by their refusal to accept the results of the 2016 election and their attempt to overturn it."
Yeah, no, you said it, dude. Blah, blah, blah about, oh no, they're fake news. When I say we're on the verge of a civil war and we should all get our guns ready to shoot fellow American citizens and murder them, I'm being misinterpreted. I meant give them flowers and hugs. Yeah, except that's not what you said. You said we're on the verge of a hot civil war, like in 1859. We will not accept the results of a successful impeachment as legitimate. And so your quotes stand for themselves. So you can try to backpedal all you like, but it's very obvious what you're doing. And they're not alone. There's a lot of other insane right-wing militia who say, oh yeah, we're ready to use our guns. But this is what they've been saying all along. So I got my Second Amendment rights against the tyranny of the government. If I don't like what the government is doing, finish the rest of the sentence. What are you gonna do? If the government comes to take my guns away, or if the government says that Trump committed a crime and they impeach him and they take him out of office, what are you gonna do? The rest of the sentence is, I'm going to take my gun and use it against the government. Hold on, which part of the government would you like to use it against? Would you like to kill the military or the cops or both? Don't tell me Blue Lives Matter and then turn around and say, I got a Second Amendment right to fight against tyranny. And if you go and enforce the law on my beloved Donald Trump, I'm gonna use my guns to kill cops. Just say it, okay? And so anyway, they are pretty much saying it. And let me be clear, don't say it. Don't say insane stuff like that. If you're on the right, there's no one on the left that says anywhere near this kind of insanity. Oh, but Antifa wants through a milkshake. Are you kidding me? These guys telling people to go grab their weapons and get ready to murder other Americans. But the other side threw a milkshake. Get out of here. These guys are super dangerous.
Definitely, and look, how many mass shootings do we need in this country that's been fueled by Donald Trump's rhetoric? I mean, the shooting in El Paso was fueled by Donald Trump's anti-immigrant rhetoric. So while it's true that these are threats against law enforcement, it's also true that some of these people are just straight up unhinged and they carry out acts of violence against completely innocent people who have nothing to do with any of this. So there's that issue as well. And by the way, we're not even done. So there's the Oath Keepers, heavily armed militia. Then you also have lunatics over at the Alex Jones show spreading this nonsense as well. So according to Talking Points memo, on Monday, a post on InfoWars website about the news pitched viewers, okay? Trump warns America, we're in danger of entering civil war. From the show that told you first, learn what comes next.
So yeah, what does come next? I want to know. Who are you guys planning to kill? Because it's a civil war. If you're talking about a political civil war, no problem. If you're talking about actually getting weapons and a physical, literal civil war, who are you going to kill? That's an important question to know, because you guys are saying get ready, get your guns and get ready. Who are you going to use the guns against? I assume it's not to go deer hunting or bunny hunting. So which humans are you going to kill?
Well, and then finally, there's one other armed militia. They're known as the 3% security force. And they have made comments like someone should declare war on domestic enemies if they are inside the country. That's what they said in response to Nancy Pelosi on the day that she announced the formal impeachment inquiry. And here's one other direct quote. The 3%ers are at your disposal. This is what they're telling Donald Trump via Twitter. All you have to do is come out on Twitter or national media and call us to arms.
Call us to arms.
Yep. And we will show the world once again that America has the largest freestanding army with weapons and firepower that they can't even begin to fathom. You will have an army at your side at a moment's notice, Mr. President. All you have to do is say the word.
See, it's not a political army. It's not about truth. It's not about any of that. They say with weapons, we are armed, we're ready to go, just give us the word. And look, I told you guys a while back, and I learned it honestly from Chelsea Manning, it's called stochastic terrorism, and now more people are starting to use the phrase. So what it is a leader, and it could be of any political stripe or not even about politics, says these are our enemies, you have to do something about them, and they're really dangerous, and they're a threat to you and your family and our way of life. And it releases the hounds. And so it encourages other people to take action. And then a leader like Trump gets to say, well, I didn't say kill Bob. He happened to kill Bob. I just told him that people like Bob are a threat. And then the lunatics go and create stochastic, meaning random terrorism. It's driven by the ideology, it's driven by, and look at what the guys said that Anna just read to you. They're waiting for Trump to say something on Twitter, and they will interpret that as, okay, let's grab our weapons and go kill people. Yep. And yet Trump is like, yeah, that's right, civil war, treason, go, penalty for treason. You know what it is? I mean, I don't want to spell it out any further than that, you know what I'm saying? And it goes on and on. There's another crazy guy who claims to be with the 3%ers. I'm just gonna read you one sentence of it because it's amusing. This guy, he then took it down, Al-Qair Mike. He said, at the end of the day, Mr. President, just know that if they try some illegal move to remove you from presidency, if there's an uprising of radical Islamic terrorists in the country, the 3%ers are at your disposal. Radical Islamic terrorists, how did they get into the Ukraine impeachment discussion? Because they're crazy, and they're so afraid. They like to pretend to be tough guys. They're like, oh, look at my gun, right? Oh, I'm such a man. Oh, you know what? I could do it kill you by pulling a trigger because I don't have any actual strength or courage. So, and what are they? But in reality, oh, the terror, Islamists, the Democrats and Nancy Pelosi, oh my God. And of course, Jeffress, what does he talk about? He's talking about, oh man, they're talking about how they're going to turn California, the whole country into California and have equality for everybody, God forbid. What he's talking about is, oh, people who are gay might have the same rights as straight people. And you know what Jeffress said here? I'll give you the exact quote. He said about Democrats, well, apparently the God they worship is the pagan god of the Old Testament Moloch, who allowed for child sacrifice. So he's saying, then talked about abortion and how they're killing millions of babies. And radical pastors like Jeffress are going around saying, they're doing child sacrifice. Isn't somebody gonna do anything about it? Wink, wink. hey, all of you oath keepers and the 3%ers and the 18%ers and whatever other lunatics there are out there, the Democrats are killing children. Somebody do something about it. And look, it's not like it hasn't happened before. They've killed doctors who work in abortion clinics over and over and over again. You know why? Because they're terrorists. That's what they are. Does that mean all of the right wing and all Republicans are terrorists? Of course not. But the people encouraging this kind of stochastic terrorism and the people who carry it out and actually are looking forward to violence and do violence, it's got a name. It's called terrorism. Thanks for watching The Young Turks. Really appreciate it. Another way to show support is through YouTube memberships. You'll get to interact with us more. There's live chat emojis, badges. You've got emojis of me, Anna, John, JR. So those are super fun. But you also get playback of our exclusive member-only shows and specials right after they air. So all of that, all you gotta do is click that join button right underneath the video. Thank you.